Proxy 2-Rex Reaper against Zerg. That managed to turn into, what, like a 19-minute game? But nice splits from Quab. Very lovely micro there. Good ideas. So, go ahead and get into our second game of this series. Spawning in the top left of Frost. It's DroneofArc. He's down 1-0. I'm going to try to bring this back. His opponent, cheesy son that he is, playing for CTsix in orange. It's our Terran player, NorthQuab. I think it was more that he killed the entire army, Tamla. And, yeah. And there's no way he's going to be able to fight against that. He just wasn't able to make any banelings to really affect Quab at all. So, yeah. We'll see how this game turns out. I doubt Quab's going to go for any cheese play. This is a huge map. This was Drone's map choice, so he wanted a bigger map. He wanted a 4-player map. I'm not going to be able to do that kind of play. But Drone is still gonna Drone Scout here. He wants to make sure that he's not gonna be going up against crazy crap again. Actually, where is this drone going first? He's going down here first, and then over here. Okay. SCV Scout as well. It looks like it's probably gonna be a CC first from Quab, and maybe probably a hatch first out of drone, but he hasn't gone hatch first yet. So we'll have to see. Yep, he's gonna go hatch first. So we CC first against hatch first. Both players going for the economy. Nice to see. Nice to see. Will it be like 3 hatches? Will it be like 5 hatches for pool? We'll have to see. Kind of doubt it. It's even going to be a low ground CC first. Feeling pretty ballsy. He hasn't seen any overlords yet, so he knows his opponent isn't really close, at least. But still, an early flood of lings can really do a lot of damage to this, since the first barracks is just not going to be starting here. Yeah. But Quab's going to set himself up nicely for this early game. Pool is just now on the way. No gas. From DroneofArc. Gotta love the name, DroneofArc. Drone gets in here and sees this is building. He's going to be starting harassing this SCV. A couple of SCVs will be coming down to fend this off. This SCV still might die. Oh, don't die, SCV. Oh, still might die. Has a really good chance of dying, actually. You have to repair it if he doesn't want it to die, which is still an annoyance. Actually, he's just gonna force that drone to walk away. And this SCV is in the middle of everything. And the drones could still pick away. It's not going to. Not going to. So still gasless here for our Zerg player, getting 2 queens very quickly. He knows what he's fighting against. He knows his CC first, so he doesn't really need the gas just yet. No problem there. He's going to work towards getting his own economy up, and with a lot of queens as quickly as possible. And the drone is still being annoying. Oh goodness, drone, you ballsy mother. Yeah, finally going to be pushed away here. And our first Marine is out. No bunkers just yet. There's no problem though. There's no lings. And actually the SCV is getting payback. Going to the hatchery. Chewed off a healthy 18 damage there as it starts to heal itself. So OP. Zerg OP, right? They can heal their buildings just by sitting there. Horse hockey. Yeah. So drone's going to go up to 4 queens now, at least. Before anything else, it seems. And barracks is going to make next reactor and then a factory. And it's like Quab's going to be setting himself up for this bio play again. I'm just getting some Hellions for map control. This is a very large map, so you want to be able to have some sort of map presence early on, and that'll be nice to have for him with the Hellions. There's still 0 lings out, and a third base is going to be coming up here for drone. Pretty sure there's 0 lings. Oh, there are 2 lings. Where are you, lings? Okay, they're over here. 1 at the watchtower, 1 over here at the ramp, just checking for any move outs. And actually a 3rd command center for Quab. I think he saw no gas for that long, and so he's expecting this base to be here, and it is here. So 3rd command center, and it's even walling off, so that's a pretty big item to have to break down with Bailings, and if you happen to wanted to go for some sort of bust. But no problem. Actually, it's going to be mech play. Neat. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So we're seeing some mech here. 2nd factory coming in. Only the 2nd gas. No 3rd gas just yet. It's going to be another factory before starport or anything, so yeah, that's cool. But this could just be like early Blue Flame Hellions, a ton of them. Or just general mech. Actually, I'm really intrigued by this. When did this happen? He started making... That's awesome. I guess he must have like canceled a hatch over here and I missed it to make this creep. It's really cool because he doesn't have Lair yet. That's very intriguing. Interesting stuff. So drone is at 3 bases, 36 to 33 workers, and these Hellions are going to start poking out. Actually, they're going to see this creep out in the middle of the map. Like, what the? How is there creep in the middle of the map already? It's actually a really wonderful play there. That's really smart. Because now you have creep across the map, and this creep will join up to it pretty soon. And there's still some queens back home, and it is going to be blue flame really, really quickly here. 1 tank coming out. I'm not sure if he's just going to start flooding Hellions after that, but he is on 4 gases already. And this overlord is going to come in here and be a hero and see. He sees 1 factory, and he sees the tech lab, and he sees the 2nd factory, so he knows what he's fighting against, at least at this point. No starport yet, so still fighting just against Hellions and tanks at the most. Maybe some Widow Mines, but without a starport, there's not much of an option you can do beyond that. But this awesome amount of creep sitting out here in the middle of the map now. His bases are connected, and eventually this creep is going to connect to the one in the middle, and he's already halfway across the map with that. So well played by him there. Scouting Overlord does die and does supply block the Zerg player for a moment, but he does have a Roach Warren coming in and getting melee upgrades actually. Only a few Hellions are out so far. There's going to be 4 plus 4, there's going to be 8 out at the moment, which can do a lot of damage, especially once Blue Flame finishes here in just a moment. Quab is pretty supply blocked. Adding in 3 more factories, so holy shit. Some 5 factories on 2 base. How many of these are going to have reactors? I'm really curious if this is going to be massive, massive Hellion tank or something like that, or is actually going to go into tank. Blue Flame is finished here, and these lanes are just going to melt immediately to that. A couple of Hellions do die, which is nice. Actually, only 1 Hellion died. Only 1 Hellion died there, sorry. But he's going to be able to get on the high ground and deny this mining until any creep gets up here, which is really nice for him. And not quite in the range to kill that Spinecrawler there, but still. He's starting to make Thors and another reactor, so 3 tech labs, 2 reactors on his factories, and he already has armory, already is getting +1, getting a engineering base, so he can have some turrets. There's a Spire on the way, kind of the go-to response against playing heavy against Hellions. So Drone's kind of setting himself in a good position, but this is really going to work out pretty well for Quab here, but nice engagement from Drone, getting a good number of those Hellions. The Roaches just kind of suddenly appeared up this ramp here, along with the Lings, but Quab's going to be content to start picking away at creep. The Roaches, again, are going to be pushing that away. Yeah. Without any actual upgrades, we're not going to be able to do too much. Hellbats on the way. Thor, tanks. Really, really nice setup here for Quab. Already on 3 bases, has his 3rd base down, has his gases taken as well, which is basically all you want as a mech player is when and how quickly can I take my 3rd base so I can get those gases. But holy crap, look at this creep. That's amazing. Great play. So even if he starts cleaning this up, it's already halfway across the map. That's awesome. I'll have to remember that for later. That's really fun. But Hellions are going to start poking in. Actually, it looks like he's going to try to like just throw away these Hellions and get a lot of drone kills, which is possible, but there is a Queen, there is the Spinecrawler. How many more drones can he actually get? Splitting his drones pretty well there. Up to 8 kills now, up to 9, and going actually into the main, which is going to be a bit of annoyance. There's nothing up here besides these Queens, but all these Hellions are very, very low health, and at the same time, they're getting a scout. Is C? Oh, big lineup. Oh, barely died. So he ends up with 13 drone kills there. Don't get me wrong, it's still a very nice victory, but he lost all his Hellions, which I don't think he cared about. He switched into Hellbats, and he has some Thors now. He's going to need something up here for high ground vision once these meters start coming into play, since he just doesn't have anything just yet. It's an easy place to start picking away. But he does have a good amount of turrets. At his 3rd base, there's only 3 in his main now, 4 in his main now, 5 in his main now, and some in his natural, so he's pretty safe. Really nothing that Drone's going to be able to do. Actually, he's losing. Lost 1 meter already to that, and with these Thors, this is a scary, scary army already for NorthQuab. 142 supply to 115. Playing this out wonderfully. There is 1 Thor, a lot of tanks at the moment. He's really going to be wanting to add in some Thors, I think. Especially if he starts playing against a lot of mutas, and it looks like it's going to be Infestation Pit is on the way. So Drone's going to be able to switch out of this, and he does have his fourth base started and up. Nothing really going on there just yet. But creep's going to start dying now. It's a big mech army. They only have +1. +2, +1 is on the way. But it's fairly low upgraded army. There are 2 Thors, so these... Yeah. Oh, that's not good. I think only 3 more mutas went down there, but you don't want to lose any at this point in the game. You need everyone you can, and it's still flying directly over the mech army, sieging up everything at once just to make sure. He is out on creep. Again, this creep rate is really, really good to hear from Drone, so at the very least he's done that. And actually, a lot of his army gets extended out in front of his Thors, and he's losing a good portion. He picks up 2 of the tanks there. Very nicely done from Drone. Picking off what he can when he can, but it is going to be Swarm Host on the way, but there's already 4 tanks out, and there's already a lot of Hellbats out. And what can he really do? I guess he could try to start picking off reinforcements, which would be really, really smart. He's not going to be able to pop in here and do too much against the main base. There are turrets blanketing pretty much everywhere, flanking the production. A couple starports out, so he's going to be trying to go into probably Ravens, I imagine, at the very least. But Quab is just starting to poke forward. He's got +1/+1 finished. +2 attack is about to finish for his mech units. A good amount of Hellbats actually swinging in here, and a lot nice lean run by down here at the third base of Quab, killing off a ton of workers, evening up this trade here a bit, but at the same time he lost pretty much every single one of his workers at his natural. Those trying to do what they can, Mutas trying to do what they can, Swarm Host even trying to do what they can. At the very least, they're keeping the opponent back. Actually, Quab is losing a lot here. He lost, I think, all of his Hellbats, and now he needs to back off because he really cannot hold against what his opponent has right now. And he lost a lot back home as well. 34-25 workers killed. We have 50 workers to 54 workers, slightly in favor of our Terran player, but still, just more and more lanes kind of flooding in. Finally, we cleaned up, and the first Raven's gonna be coming out on the field now. And actually, a reactor and a tech lab up for Quab on his starports. Kind of anticipating a Viper switch eventually. I want to be able to have a good Viking count before that even happens. And a Hydrogen coming up now for Drone. And going into Hive. So, both players aiming for late game. Late game. Fourth base landing just now for Quab. That'll be turned into a planetary. Start getting himself safe from all this. Oh my lord, all those mutas just got slaughtered. Oh, mutas, why? Poor mutas. 13 mutas have been killed so far. I mean, both players have lost a lot, but yeah. It's not many Swarm Hosts. There's only 9 Swarm Hosts, and there's not much to back them up. And it's a lot of tanks, so NorthQuab's going to be able to start inching himself forward. At the same time, he's running these Hellions over to where this base is. Did you see this? Yeah, he saw this earlier, so he knows this base is here. And he's just going to start killing things. Actually turning into Hellbats so he can kill his queen a lot easier. Very nicely done there. And going to completely deny any sort of mining over at this base. Oh, those scans. Scans were over at the Swarm Host, and again, that is a lot of tanks. They have +2. +3 on the way, +2 armor on the way as well. Corporate Reactor, just for the energy for Ravens, coming in, and still, more workers dying. 41 workers have died, 45 workers have died so far. And this base got killed by Hellbats. When does that happen? Bases aren't supposed to get killed by Hellbats. That's ridiculous. Hellbats, you cray. Drone doing what he can. He's containing as well as he can. This creep, again, is amazing. And he spread it very, very close to the opponent, so... But... It's a lot of tanks. That's a lot of tanks. And tunneling the call is actually kind of a good choice, but there's a Raven, so... I'm not going to do much. No Vipers. Really, Vipers are the units that Drone really needs. He needs a way to just start picking up tanks one by one. And doing it this way is not going to work, so he's not even really getting damage done. More Hellions going to be moving across the map here. And actually, even Lynx trying to get in can be annoying, and they're going to do just that, actually. He has to send over all of his tanks, some tanks and some Thors, actually. If Drone still had a Mutaflock, all these tanks would be dead. But he doesn't. And more Hellions turning into Hellbats. Picking away at this base here. And still, just more Swarm Hosts, no Vipers to speak of. It's kind of going to spell the doom for a Zerg player unless he decides to start getting some Vipers. Roaches actually, they're the Vipers. They're the Vipers. What am I talking about? The Vipers are coming in here and they spit a lovely cloud on all these tanks. And most of the tanks have died. How did I miss the Vipers being built? I was looking for those constantly. So he killed a bunch there. And actually, he's picked up, what, the Thors? He's doing a Thor drop. I imagine trying to get underneath the Vipers, which would be awesome. Or he's just doing a Thor drop. That's really cool. He's going to drop some Thors. This is intriguing. We're going to have a Thor drop here. I'm sad I missed the Beijing engagement. You know, our Viper's out in the field, so excuse me. He cleaned up a lot of the siege tanks there. There's only 9 right now. He's going to want some more. There are a good amount of Ravens at this point. We only have 1 Raven, never mind. 1 Raven. Whoops. 1 Raven, 6 Vikings. Thor drop going to work. 8 kills, 16 kills. Holy crap. Army is trying to swing around and kill us off. I think he's trying to maybe set up a flank to take off the dropship, but nope, not going to happen. And he's going to continue dropping with those. It's hilarious. And 1 Banshee being extremely annoying here. 6 kills on the Banshee. +3 attack for Flyers is about to be out for our Zerg player, and he's going to try to start picking away at these bases, but that is 2 planetaries. 2 planetaries protecting over here. Very, very cute. And it's a lot of Thors, it's a lot of tanks. And locals aren't going to be able to do too much. And again, the double Thor drop takes out another base. And Quab is just doing work with a double Thor drop. This is hilarious. 18 and 21 kills. What is he scanning? He's scanning like crazy. I want to know where the army is. But there's no answer for these Thors. Picks up the one that's getting focused. Runs away. Picks up the other one. Oh. Hydras are here though. 1 Mevec goes down, 2nd Mevec goes down, so that's over, but he killed 2 bases with Thors. That's freaking hilarious. This is an awesome game. Quab's actually really low on his minerals. He has nothing in his main now, and not much in his natural. So he's not able to mine too much, but at the same time he doesn't really care. He's just start moving out and start killing things. Drone has been trying to set up kind of a barricade here, but it's not going to go too well. Everything being cleaned up, even the couple Ravens. Ravens don't get sniped though. Viper's just waiting patiently. Probably gonna, as soon as these locusts spawn, they probably will be starting to pick in some high price units. Just trying to. Doesn't really seem to be able to though. There we go. Engagement starting to happen? No. He's just going to have to wait for another round of Locust. And these tanks are all really bunched up. It's really a poor kind of decision. And there's not many Hydralisks. And yeah. Vipers, 2 Vipers, 3 Vipers dead. 4 Vipers are all dead, but massive, whatever those are called. He spits the crap. I don't even know what it's called. I'm terrible at Vipers. A lot of tanks go down there. Good lord, that was awful. A lot of the tanks do die, but all the Vipers died. And it's just roaches and hydras left over. And I mean, the swarm posts are still alive, so that's nice. But actually, most of the tanks are dead. And there's a nice little counter going on with just some lings. But auto turret's cleaning that up, of all things. Actually, not going to clean it up. There he goes. He does manage to attack with one of those. So, Quab lost a lot of his tanks there. Vipers did a wonderful job. But now he doesn't have any Vipers. That's the problem. He lost all of his Vipers, and now there's nothing really to protect. I mean, there's some Hydras, but now there's Cloak Banshees. And there's no Overseer in sight. He's gonna have to just run away. And I'm not sure what he's focusing exactly. I think he's trying to focus on Hydras. He could easily just focus down the Swarm Host as well. Another Thor drop going after this base gets cancelled. So these Thor drops is doing a lot of work here. Really kind of difficult for Drone to get a 5th base up. Getting some more Vipers out. He has 1 at the moment. And again, just Quab has no minerals. He's got no minerals right now. He only has 3 orbitals. I think he only has 3 orbitals. So it's kind of an issue. It's starting to float across a lot more CCs. And again, this Thor drop. These Thor drops are hilarious. Because if you bring your army back home to fight it, then at least the Swarm Host completely separated. And yeah, that's neat. That's a lot of fun. This base is halfway dead because of Thors. I I guess nicely done with creep. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure you can still turn into a planetary when you're getting creeped. We'll see. Another planetary happening. And roaches and hydra's gonna try to pop into this base and kill it off before it turns into a planetary. Yeah, he's gonna lift it off and try to get out. He doesn't want to fight that. Main army of NorthQuab moving out, and there's nothing. The Viper dies immediately. So the Viking Stormhouse has to get out. Oh, can you? Nope. So both players trying to posture as much as they can, get to a good position. 9 tanks out once again for NorthQuab. So that's nice. 184 to 174 supply, but Corruptor's actually trying to be the decision here. And Corruptor's, again, against a lot of Vikings, just a lot of Vikings. Quab is taking complete air control, and against Swarmhost, you have to have some air superiority. Otherwise, you can't really do anything. Locust's going to come out again, but tanks are going to be fine once they move up. Actually, everything's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and a really late siege. A couple Vipers trying to pull Ravens, actually. Gets a couple Ravens pipes, but tanks take out most of the army there. And again, still an even game. 125 to 105 army supply. 182 to 172 supply total. And bases are pretty even as well. Still hasn't turned these into planetaries. Kind of susceptible if you decided to do a massive link counterattack or anything. That's still just a lot, just more units streaming in for both players. Trying to find a way around this. It's a nice mech versus Zerg game here. It's a good amount of Ravens now. That's 7 Ravens. You want to have free units? I'll have free units too. No problem. Yeah. 2 more planetaries over at this location. He's going to be able to drop the Mule Hammer sometime soon, and a lot of SCVs just arrived as well. And again, he's just so low on his minerals, but a nice drop going into what is like this is the 4th base of drone. Kills a few more workers. And Quab has killed 65 drones in this game, which is absolutely ridiculous. He really needs to start spreading out his tanks a little bit better, since he's been basically destroyed a few times because all these tanks are in the same spot. But the Seeker missile's going down. Nice splitting. Actually, one goes off. The second one's going to go off right on top of the Swarm Host. Basically the worst position that possibly could have been. Let's say la vie with that. Quab is kind of whittling away at his opponent at this point. He's kind of got the advantage in every way possible. Drone is trying to switch to an all-ground army, kind of abandoning trying to use his Vipers, it seems. He does have 2 somewhere on the map, but at the same time, a massive flank here, and all the tanks, most of the tanks were unsieged. So that was a rather large flank that tried to happen. Trying to get something done, being a little wishy-washy about it. Actually, may pick up a lot of these Vikings, which could be good. The first Battlecruiser is actually on the field too. A nice, again, preventing all these tanks from doing anything, and all the tanks are going to go down? No, not quite. They get out, and all the army units for a drone die. And Battlecruisers are coming out now, finally. Battlecruisers, Ravens, tanks, Hellbats, and some Vikings. There are Corruptors on the field. There's no more Vikings, though. Just these Swarm Hosts. And a pretty big supply lead now for NorthQuab. 188 to 148 supply. He's looking in a really good position there. Once he just decides to take a good fight for him. It's just kind of really difficult to do. I know the Seeker missile goes down, but it goes down on a Corruptor that was already low health, and he's actually running away, but yeah, there we go. He does keep that Corruptor from killing any of his friends, at least. Another nice little play here by Drone. He's spreading creep at all these ulterior bases. Anterior, I think is the word I'm looking for there. I'm not sure. Just to make sure that his opponent can't take any more bases. If I can't take bases, you can't take bases either. Maybe we'll starve each other out, and we can force a draw and replay this game over. But nice use of point defense drones, and 4 Seeker missiles going down, and that might spell doom here. Kills off most of those Swarm Hosts, and GG from Drone. All of the Swarm Hosts going down to Seeker missiles. NorthQuab indeed takes the set, and his team, CTsix, will take the series this week. It'll be 6-3, a 7-3 map score. It's always nice to see when you are wanting to get this early lead, and CTsix is going to stay in first place for CTL.